बाबर आजम को न्यूजीलैंड के खिलाफ T20 मैचेस में क्या रेस्ट दी जाएगी या नहीं। आज ऑस्ट्रेलिया के खिलाफ तीसरा टेस्ट मैच हारने के बाद मोहम्मद हफीज़ प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करने के लिए आए तो उनसे ये सवाल किया गया कि शाहीन को सिडनी टेस्ट में आराम देगी, क्या बाबर आजम को भी आराम दी जाएगी। हफीज़ का जवाब सुनिए।
नहीं, आप बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं, ऐसा किया जा सकता है, लेकिन इसमें सबसे पहले डिपेंड करता है कि इंडिविजुअल क्या सोचता है। अगर आपका इंडिविजुअल जो भी वो प्लेयर है, जैसे शाहीन के पास जब ये ऑप्शन थी तो उसकी बॉडी सोर थी, ही स्पीक अप, उसने मेरे साथ बात की कि मुझे हफीज़ भाई ये मेरी बॉडी ये रिस्पॉन्ड कर रही है। अगर बाबर को किसी भी वक्त लगता है कि उसको किसी भी जगह पे हम उसको हेल्प आउट कर सकते हैं, उसकी टैक्टिक्स के अंदर, उसकी टेक्निक के अंदर, या उसकी मेंटल साइड को देखते हुए, तो वी आर ऑलवेज देयर। लेकिन जब तक जो इंडिविजुअल है, अगर उसको लगता है कि ही इज़ डूइंग थिंग्स वेल, और हमें भी लगता है कि लाइक टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, द अमाउंट ऑफ हार्ड वर्क ही पुट्स इन, जब भी नेट में वो आते हैं वो अपनी एनर्जी, अपनी हर चीज़ें बिल्कुल ठीक करते हैं, लेकिन वो खेल भी अच्छा रहे हैं। ऐसा नहीं कि जब वो ग्राउंड में जा रहे हैं तो वो अच्छा नहीं खेल पा रहे, लेकिन अनफॉर्चुनेटली ये जोन आता है कि सम टाइम आप अच्छा खेल के भी बड़ी इनिंग्स नहीं खेल रहे होते। तो मुझे लगता है कि बाबर की वो एक बड़ी इनिंग्स उसको बहुत से कॉन्फिडेंस को वापस लेके आएगी। वो उनके मसल मेमोरी ऑलरेडी मौजूद है, लेकिन थोड़ा सा मुझे लगता है कि एक बड़ी इनिंग्स जो है रिक्वायर्ड है, विच आई होप ही विल प्ले वेरी सून।
अब ये सीरीज खत्म हो गई है तो पूरी तरह हम देख सकते हैं दोनों साइड्स के जो फास्ट बॉलर्स हैं, ऑस्ट्रेलिया के यही फास्ट बॉलर्स वर्ल्ड कप भी खेला इन्होंने, तो आपको लगता है कि ये कोई रियलिस्टिक है कि एक ऐसा वक्त भी आए जिसमें पाकिस्तान के भी फास्ट बॉलर्स उस तरह, अब शाहीन ने 2 मैचेस के बाद रेस्ट किया क्योंकि उनका वर्कलोड था, कि वो भी इस तरह लगातार तीन लगातार टेस्ट खेल सकें या फिर वो इंजरी का शिकार इस तरह ना हो, तो ये क्या करने की ज़रूरत है?
देखें, मुझे ज़्यादा तौर पर लगता है कि एक मेरी सजेशन होगी आईसीसी के लिए, वो श्योरली ये है कि जैसे आईसीसी पूरी दुनिया में T20 लीग को प्रमोट करने के लिए या गेम को प्रमोट करने के लिए T20 NOC अप्रूव कर रहे हैं, सिमिलर टेस्ट क्रिकेट को बचाने के लिए, टेस्ट क्रिकेट को प्रायोरिटी रखने के लिए उनको ज़रूर ये सोचना चाहिए कि एक स्टैंडर्ड मैच फ़ी जो है वो सब बोर्ड्स के लिए जो है वो लेके आए, ताकि हर एक प्लेयर, चाहे वो ऑस्ट्रेलिया का हो या वो किसी भी टेस्ट प्लेइंग नेशन का वो प्लेयर हो, उसको एक मैच फ़ी मिले। उसके साथ मुझे लगता है कि बहुत से प्लेयर्स, नॉट लाइक दे आर कपल ऑफ कंट्रीज़ जिनके पास बड़े अच्छे फैसिलिटेशंस हैं, बहुत अच्छी लुक आफ्टर की जाती है अपने प्लेयर की, लेकिन बहुत सी ऐसी कंट्रीज़ या बहुत से ऐसे क्रिकेट बोर्ड्स हैं जो शायद अपने प्लेयर्स को वो तमाम लुक्रेटिव अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ जो T20 फॉर्मेट आपको प्रोवाइड करता है या शॉर्टर पीरियड में ज़्यादा फाइनेंशियल हेल्प आपको मिलती है या सपोर्ट मिलती है, वो उसकी तरफ जाने की कोशिश करते हैं। तो इन जनरल मुझे लगता है कि ऐसे इकदाम करने चाहिए टेस्ट क्रिकेट को, रेड बॉल को बचाने के लिए, कि जैसे T20 को प्रमोट किया जा रहा है खेल को प्रमोट करने के लिए, विच इज़ एब्सोल्युटली राइट। विद द सेम टाइम अगर हम स्टैंडर्ड मैच फ़ी कर दें पूरी दुनिया के टेस्ट प्लेइंग नेशन की, दैट विल डेफिनेटली हेल्प।
ये टीम को देखें तो बहुत से क्रिकेटर्स इनके साथ आप अभी खेले हुए हैं, मगर ऐसी कई खबरें आप तक भी पहुंची होंगी कि आप बड़े सख्त डायरेक्टर हैं और शायद कभी खिलाड़ी को डांट भी देते हैं।
कभी भी
नहीं करेंगे ऐसा कि कभी कुछ ऐसा हुआ है?
नहीं, कभी भी नहीं हुआ। पहले तो मुझे नहीं आइडिया कि खबरें आप तक कैसे पहुंची हैं। मैं इनका सबसे पहले दोस्त हूं, उसके बाद मैं इनका रहनुमा हूं। मैं कोशिश करता हूं कि वो तमाम टैक्टिक्स, वो तमाम चीज़ें जिससे पाकिस्तान टीम बेहतर हो सकती है, एक राइट फार्मूला, एक राइट मैनेजमेंट इनकी मैं कर सकूं, इनको हर बेस्ट फैसिलिटी जो है प्रोवाइड कर सकूं। और इस पूरे महीने के अंदर, सवा महीने के अंदर मेरे थ्रू यही फैसिलिटेशन उन तक प्रोवाइड की गई, और मुझे ज़ाती तौर पर बिल्कुल नहीं लगा कि मैं कहीं पे भी सकता हूँ। ये मेरे बिल्कुल ऐसे ही हैं जैसे मेरे दोस्त हैं, मेरे भाई हैं, मेरे बच्चे हैं, तो मेरे थ्रू कभी भी ऐसा नहीं हो सकता। और अगर कहीं ये कोई ऐसी खबर कहीं बाहर गई भी है तो मुझे लगता है कि उसमें सदाकत नहीं है। एज ए टीम आई थिंक वी हैड आवर मोमेंट्स बट वी कुडंट ग्रैब दोज। Obviously 3-0 is not something I think we were looking for as a team. We think like, we did something really well in this series, but the crucial moments of the game we couldn't win that, and that's the reason obviously resulted in a 3-0 in this series.
Talking specifically about today when Australia came out to bat, it wasn't until they needed 30 runs to win that Amir Jamal came on to bowl. He was leading the wicket, so just wondered why.
Well, I think it's something as a captain, because every bowlers were available, but it's a captain tactics. But obviously the one thing was very sure that we wanted to bowl more from the off spinner, because this track can offer a lot of assistance to the off spinner from the other end, from the far end. But the rest of the things, obviously the captain, whoever he thinks the best, he proceeded accordingly.
Did you agree
Well, I think technically, I think yes, he should have bowled earlier. But yes, as I said to you, like sometime inside the captain is the best of, like, you know, the judge who he feels like it by tactics. So you always have to back that up.
When we spoke to you in Perth, you said you were very optimistic, but you've seen the skill level of the side.
Yeah.
Now that the results have panned out the way they have, where do you think some of these matches were lost? Was it the fielding specifically? Was it tactics?
Well, you are absolutely right. What I said that time, that is absolutely, the statement will remain the same. Yes, we lost the series, but the idea was behind it only to watching the talent of the players, and we seen some glimpse of it. There were certain moments of the game where we should have that, like we should grab those opportunities, can make a major difference, especially in the Melbourne when they were 16 for 4. We couldn't grab those couple of moments. Resulted in a way like, you know, it could have been 140, 150. We need to chase, but you know, it went up to 300 plus. It's a game of, like, even here we dropped some of the catches in the second, like in the first inning. Mitchell Marsh got dropped by Saim Ayub. These are the moments, I believe, like, you know, we didn't drop the catches. I believe we dropped the winning moments of the game. So I think that is obviously the highlighted negative side of our team is basically our fielding. We need to really work hard on this, because we, like, as a coaching staff, I know that every coach really worked really hard on it, but unfortunately as the player went inside, they couldn't respond accordingly. But this is the one area I believe we need to work on.
What positive, you talk about the missed opportunities, but what positives can you take from this tour? Obviously Australia is a really tough place for any touring team to run, but boys showed plenty of fight at times.
Well, first of all, I would say playing the cricket with the right spirit of the game. Our captain led the side very well. He made a very right calls at the very right time, because it's not all about your cricket, it's about how you behave as the ambassador. So I think he did most of the things very rightly. And then when it comes to the game, I think Amir Jamal is someone, like, you know, we all praising him for the right reason, because he stood tall, he stood up on occasion. Obviously before that he was not being given enough good chances at that level, but when you wait for your opportunity positively, it comes up very positively to you. So I think he's one of those guys who was waiting for this opportunity, and once he's been presented, he grabbed it in both hands, and really proud of it.
Obviously Sean Masood talked a little bit before the series started about wanting to use this series to put Pakistani Test cricket sort of back up on a pedestal. Is a guy like Amir Jamal and sort of how well he's done this series, is he a guy that's well placed to help Pakistani Test cricket grow in the future?
Well, definitely. Red ball is one of the priority of the team, of the cricket board, and we will certainly do some of the more things in red ball cricket, because as long as you are close to the red ball cricket, you can play all formats. So that is the objective we wanted to achieve as a team, to prioritize red ball cricket. And I think in this series we presented the right opportunity to the right guys. Saim Ayub is one of those. Yes, he couldn't play a big innings, but he's shown that glimpse of the talent he has. And I'm sure this guy and rest of the guys, Khurramshad got injured after one test. He's shown the glimpse of a very good test bowler. So we as a team would like to grow as a test team that will help all formats, like all the players, to play any format of the game.
Amir Jamal obviously played some club cricket in Australia a while back. How much would you like to see? Obviously there's been a lot of talk between the two boards during the series. Would you like to see a bit more of that, I guess, crossover, Pakistani players playing cricket in Australia and I guess rounding their game with experience of these conditions?
Well, to be very honest, we had a meeting with the Cricket Australia chairman and CEO, and they agreed on an exchange program, because we wanted to have more visiting teams from Pakistan, under 19, Pakistan A, and women team to visit Australia on a regular basis. And similar, we can offer the same exchange program to these three teams in Pakistan. So that will help both the teams in future, and that is obviously, you will see very soon the agreement will be signed. And the objective is all about that we come here on a regular basis and they come in Pakistan on a regular basis, just to develop the game of the within the two countries, because we need a practice more in these conditions and they need more practice in Asian conditions. So this is what we already discussed, and I'm very sure like very soon you guys will come, like you will came to know, like, you know, this agreement has been signed. So this is very good moment as a cricket board, like the both boards basically want to work with each other for the right reason.
Babar has had a fairly lean time. He's had some good deliveries in this series as
Yeah.
well. Have you seen enough to be confident that he's close to getting back to his best form? And maybe the first innings here you looked a bit more confident. Do you think he's quite close?
Well, personally, I believe when you don't perform well, perform well in a way, when you don't score big runs, obviously the pressure piles up on you as a cricketer. But the amount of effort he puts in, every day he comes in the nets, he's the first person to start the batting, he's the last person to leave the nets. And the amount of attitude he has, he always wanted to learn, he always wanted to give something. So I have no doubt that someone having that much attitude, that good attitude can come back very soon. So basically, technically he's a very solid player, but obviously the lean patch of not performing well enough is one thing obviously he must be thinking of, but I have no concern on it, because I believe that he's putting the right effort behind it and the thing will come starting in his ways very soon.
Okay, last question in English, then we'll come to the question.
Obviously, Shameen set out this test match with the way things ended up going. Are you still comfortable that was the right decision?
Well, listen, when it comes to the management, the guy, when I asked him after the 2 test matches, obviously he bowled really well in those 2 games. He bowled the most overs from the Pakistan side, and I'm sure maybe in Australian side too. But when I asked him in the 3rd test, before the third test, his body was sore, and I need to look after the guy better than any other thing, because if someone is thinking within his body that his body is sore and he cannot deliver the best, so we need to look after the career of an individual also, because I never will make any decision where any player can lose his career for 6 months or 1 year time. So I never will make any of this decision. So when this thing come up to me, obviously I spoke to the medical team, and that's what the decision it was a tough call, but we made that decision for the betterment of a player, because as I said to you, I cannot make that decision on the cost of a career of any